reach as high as you want. It won't work out here. You need a UHF radio. Here's how to install one yourself in 5 simple steps. What you'll need. First of all, the safety essentials, your gloves and safety glasses, and then some tools, a soldering iron, some solder, wire strippers, wire cutters, trim removers, screwdrivers, electrical test lamp, sockets, spanners and a drill. Now, the following parts: electrical tape, cable ties, corrugated tubing, 5 amp fuses, a fuse holder, some 10 amp wire, ring terminals, heat shrink, some small screws, a bull bar or guard antenna mount. And of course, a UHF radio and antenna. If you're yet to choose these, click pause and check out the DIY buying guide. When you're done, we'll jump into step 1, mounting your UHF. First, let's find the perfect location for the handpiece. It should be within easy reach of the driver, but make sure it won't get knocked around while you operate the vehicle. Once that's decided, the handpiece mount can be fixed in place with double-sided tape or drilled and screwed for a more permanent installation. Now, let's find a place to mount the radio unit. You might try under the steering wheel, behind a kick panel or under the centre console. Wherever you choose, ensure there'll be enough clearance to fit the antenna, power cable and handpiece lead to the radio after it's mounted. Then you can mark the holes on your radio mounting bracket. Drill them carefully and fix the bracket with screws or pop rivets. Before you secure the radio into its mount, let's hop outside to mount the antenna. If you have a bull bar, an antenna mount is often included in the design. If that's not the case, you can easily bolt one on. If you don't have a bull bar, you could use a guard mount instead. All of these options have a large hole through the middle. Feed the antenna cable through this, then slip the nut over the cable and tighten the antenna in place. With everything mounted, you can move on to step 2, wiring your radio. To get the antenna cable into the cab, first cover it with a few metres of corrugated tubing. Now poke it through your car's grille and route the cable around the edge of the engine bay towards the accessible grommet. Use plenty of cable ties to secure it as you go and keep it clear of any moving or hot parts. While the bonnet's up, let's power your radio from the battery. Grab that fuse holder and crimp a ring terminal onto one end. Solder the other end onto your 10 amp wire and apply a little heat shrink to the joint. If you need a little more guidance on wire joining, you can check out our DIY guide. Leave the fuse out for the time being, then you can attach that ring terminal to your battery, wrap the power wire in conduit and route the power wire towards an accessible grommet, preferably a different one to your antenna. Now for step 3, piercing grommets. This can be tricky, so it deserves its own step. You can cut the corrugated tubing here, it doesn't need to go through the grommet. If access is easy, a slit with a sharp knife might be enough to get through. If this isn't working, a stiff piece of wire like a coat hanger may come in handy. Use lots of electrical tape to fasten a good length of cable to the wire and plenty around the tip to protect it. Then poke the wire through and pull from the other side. A squirt of silicone spray will make this much easier. With those 2 cables inside the cab, you're on to step 4. Complete your wiring. Finish routing the antenna and power wire to your radio. Since you installed a fuse at the battery, you can cut the fuse from the supplied cable, slip a bit of heat shrink over the wire and solder the plug end onto your new power cable. To locate a suitable earth for your radio, start by popping a fuse in for your power cable. Clamp your test lamp onto the freshly soldered joint and probe a few bolts and metal surfaces until your test lamp illuminates. Remove that fuse once again while you finish off by fitting a ring terminal to the earth lead and fixing this to your earth point. Don't forget to melt the heat shrink to protect the solder joint before replacing the fuse. Now for the exciting bit, step 5, testing your radio. Plug in your antenna, power and handpiece, then press that power button. Flick your radio straight to channel 40. This is the highway channel. Now hold the push to talk button on the side of the radio and ask for a radio check. If your install has gone well and there's somebody in range, you should receive a confirmation. If not, you can always grab a friend with a handheld for a bit of a chat in the bush, or on the beach, or up that hill, or on a boat, or in the desert. Find detailed instructions and more ways to help you make it super at Supercheap Auto's Super DIYs. Make it super at Supercheap Auto.